Crafty friend, it's me, Justine. Today I have a catch-all video for you. And I have not done this before with the clubs, so I'll just tell you what I mean by that. It's going to catch all of the remaining clubs that I have not shared a video for yet. So like the stamp, the stitching, the embossing folders, the stencils. I have made a whole bunch of cards this month for this month, not this month, but for this month, and I'll share them with you all at the end. But the main focus is going to be some stencils. So this month there's 3 different background stencils, and we're gonna make 3 of them on camera. First, I'm gonna tape my paper down. I'm gonna use a green paper to do my stenciling on. I'll just adjust my camera a hair here. Okay, so this kind of looks like some books. So that's kind of the theme I was going for this one. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna need to move my tape. Anyway, that was kind of the idea here. And I was going with the green and purple, kind of do, not really like Halloween vibes, but that's kind of the look that this is. So, not that this is a Halloween card at all. It just, I don't know. That's the color scheme I was going for. And to me, it kind of looks like Halloween, but I mean, it's not supposed to be a specific Halloween card. Anyway, I have it all taped down, and then let's do some ink blending. If you haven't checked out the rest of this month's clubs, make sure you do. I do have individual videos for the stitching, the better press, the large, and the small. So those are, well, the large and small are together. So I have 3 more videos. If you haven't watched those, you're going to want to. And then if you have and you're looking for more inspiration, you've come to the right spot. So I'm going to start with Lucky Clover and just get that on my green paper. And this just is going to give a little bit more dimension and texture. And then the second stencil that I have will go in between on the blank parts. And I just love using stencils because it gives a flat background, which is always fun, and it leaves room for more die cut pieces and embellishments and all sorts of fun things that I can do on top. This month's clubs are kind of fairy tale like and book themed, so if you're interested in seeing some of those things, you are going to want to stick around. You can check out the other videos that I have, and you can also see there's kind of that book theme going on with the little gnomes sitting on the book and the wax seal that says congratulations on your new chapter, or congrats on your new chapter. And the gnomes are always so cute from Spellbinders. I just adore them. Okay, now that I have 1 layer of ink, now that just by itself is really cool, but we're going to go the other direction and use the purple. We're going to use Seedless Preserves, and I think I'm just going to do this corner because I will be trimming this down to have a black background, so I think it'll be okay if the tape sticks there. Yeah, that looks right to me. And then we'll just grab that Seedless Preserves, which is a really pretty purple. It's one of my favorites, and I thought it would look nice with the purple that comes with the wax seal of the month. And then this is the plum color. On camera it does look black, that circle, but it is in fact plum. My Seedless Preserves is super inky, so I barely have to touch it for ink. And it is a very thick oxide ink. It is a thick oxide, so going on top of this green paper is no problemo because it is super juicy and thick. Okay, second layer done. So by the way, that was Seedless Preserves and Lucky Clover. Okay, let's peel and reveal. Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Okay, we'll move on to the next stencil as this dries. So then I can get all my stenciling done first. Looks like there is just a little bit on the glass mat, so I'll just quick wipe it down. The oxides are water friendly, so you can just wipe it down with some water and you're good to go. Okay, let's move to the next one. I'm going to use this stencil that looks like the embossing folder of the month, which is kind of a fun texture. It kind of looks like books or waves, and I just thought that that would be kind of fun to do some cool tones and make kind of a love you card, which I love making the love cards because I know that there's going to be some sweet little somethings going in there, and that's always a win. Okay, I'm going to put my tape on the sides. I am going to stick it on, knowing that I am going to trim off that edge anyway, so yes, it will leave a white spot, but whatever. I know I don't have the sticky mat yet from Waffle Flower or the magnets for the glass mat. I know. One day maybe we'll do those. I don't know. But for now, the tape's fine for me. Okay. I'm going to scratch the Christmas one. I decided that that's just a little too dramatic for March. So we're just going to pretend like that did not happen or exist. Okay. Here goes my first layer. Let's do the shaded lilac first, which is really like a blue periwinkle kind of color. So I use my blue. I mean, that basically matches that color. It's pretty nice. And we will just stencil it away. Stencils are so fun. They don't take a whole lot of energy or skill to use. You just have to kind of be patient and hold things down where they belong. And having smooth paper really does help. The paper I use is that blending paper. I'll link it in the description of the video, but that definitely helps the ink play nicely together. Pajama Crafter Stamps, which I am on their design team, has a blending solution, and that can help as well. So I just thought I'd mention it. And then if you're interested in knowing about that blending solution, Joy does have a video on the website of how that works. So if you just click the link, that brings you to the blending solution page where you can buy it. She has a video on there so you can see it. So if you have questions about that, watch the video. I'm not blending today, so I wouldn't need something like that. I'm just layering two inks in different spots. So, okay, then let's peel and reveal. Ooh la la. That just looks just like the embossing folder, but it is stencil, so it's kind of nice to have different things. Okay, here's the next level. Here's the next layer that goes right on top of the other one. I'm going to take a second or two to really hopefully position it correctly and hope for the best. I'm not the best at eyeballing this, so I love it when stencils have corner guides. This one does not this time, but whatever. We're just going to roll with it. We have peacock feathers next. Let's get to inking. This is such a pretty color. I love this one. Let's start in the middle. I do find that this blending paper definitely helps for getting the ink on there in a smooth way, and it doesn't really move along after it's dry. So that's lovely. I've just really been inspired by all the different stuff in the clubs this month. It's been fun to mix and match, and I really can't wait to show you the rest of my cards here. And then if you watched last month my stencil video, you might have watched me use the crackle paste and it was the first time I had ever used a crackle paste, so I was kind of wondering what would happen, etc. And it really turned out kind of fun, so I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes here. But that was an interesting experience, to say the least. All right, let's peel and reveal. Ooh, look at that. That looks so almost 3D. I like this stencil. Okay, let's go ahead and clean. I'm going to go ahead and clean up and get things ready so we can color. I'm going to go ahead and clean up here. I am going to color my gnome off camera now that I have the colors here from my background, and just give him a quick color. I don't really feel like filming that today, sorry, but I have other videos of me coloring if you're interested. I'm not a colorist, so I'm just gonna skip that today. So I finished coloring, and now I feel like this looks better than this. I wish I could get your opinion, but I'm not live, so I don't know. I feel like this is too much green. I'm gonna do this one instead. I'll use this on something else. I don't know if I would use this for like a love you always kind of card, so I'll just hang on to this. I do have several little bits and bobs from this month's clubs that I just kind of hang on to as I'm working with cards. I have some better press, I have stamped pieces, I have teacups, glimmered sentiments, all sorts of fun things like that. So I think it will just end up in this box for now, but now that I pulled this out, I'm wondering if I should use one of these sentiments to add to here. Ooh, the black one might be kind of fun. Let's see if there's something about reading. Congrats on your new chapter. Maybe we'll do the magical wishes for you. We'll do that one. Okay, does anyone else do this with like a little tray of all sorts of goodies? I do have this one colored too. I don't know, it just works for me. Okay, back to business. I am going to trim down this card to be, oh, it is already trimmed. Okay, well, I'm going to do a little bit more trimming. And then we'll do 2 layers. So let's grab a black for the border on the back, and then maybe a lavender or that kind of teal color would be fun. Just like a matting color, nothing too crazy. Maybe light green. Yeah, let's do that. So if it's already trimmed down, yeah, 2 would be fine. Let's do a light purple and just go crazy and do another extra layer. I think I'm just going to have my green border be a little bit thicker. Sorry, moving the camera. Okay, I'm going to trim stuff down and I'll be right back. Sometimes I just don't really know where the direction is going for the video, so hopefully you are still with me and watching. So I did take the embossing folder that kind of matches this stencil and embossed this circle. So I think that's kind of fun. This is part of the postal or the postage edge dies, and this circle die has little teeny tiny circles punched out of the edge. You can kind of see there. And I thought that that would be kind of fun to add another texture. So I will try to kind of turn this. I don't want it lined up perfectly with the background stencil. I'm going to have it be at kind of a diagonal line. Then I get to finish off with my cute little gnome, my wax seal, and my sentiment. I'm going to have the sentiment pop up, I think, and have my gnome be glued down. Like so. And we'll glue the wax seal down. I just use liquid glue. Sometimes I use foam squares. I'll show you in just a minute here my other projects, and I'll show you what it looks like with the foam squares and what it looks like with the tape or the glue. Well, I just showed you the glue. I am going to use some leftover foam squares that I have from an old card kit just to add some dimension to my sentiment. And I will use my reverse tweezers wherever they went to pop my sentiment on, and that just really gets my hand out of the way so I can film, so I can see what it will look like on my project. There we go. Now I just need some embellishments for this little lady. I think I'm going to use some older gems that I have from old card kits and put those on my card. I do like these gems or rhinestones because they are gold flecked, you can see in there, and then they're self-adhesive, so they're super easy to pop onto projects. All right, well, are you ready to see all the cards that I made with this month's clubs? I'm gonna clear some stuff off because your girl needs space to show all these cards because I made a bunch, per usual. So here's this one. Look out for a favorite, by the way. Here's this one I just did with you today. And then here are the ones that I have not shown on YouTube yet. So this was the stencil from last month, and then I put the wax seal, the embossing folder, and then the Better Press oval on, and it looks really cool. It definitely crackled. The parts that had bubbles made kind of some odd craters, so if I were to do that again, I definitely would pop the bubbles this time. But that is really cool. Oh, and the embellishments are all from the Friendship Floral collection that came out last spring from Spellbinders. They're super fuzzy. They're almost fuzzy glitter, and I find that to be really satisfying to touch. And then this one, I went red. I was thinking graduation for this one, so red and white and black. There are school colors for one of the schools in my area, so this one will probably end up at the coffee shop for sale. But I thought that that was really fun. I used Spellbinders embellishments and the 3D embossing folder on that one. And then this one, I used the same folder and then added some pearly colors, and you can see it's kind of the same idea for these two, but they are kind of different. I think in person this looks way better than it does on film, but that's just my opinion. And then this one, I went pink and teal. I had a Better Press piece that I made with this pink paper here and then the aura, and I took some hole or circle punches that I had in my craft room and just punched them out and made kind of a fun little background. I used the regular embossing folder on this one and then paired it with two things that were in my craft room as scraps. So this little sprig and then this wax seal I have already made, and I popped it right on. And then I finished with these clear dimensional dots that are also from Spellbinders. Okay, now if you haven't watched the rest of this month's videos, you're going to want to check them out, but I will just give you a quick little glance. I won't explain them, but here's the small die with the owl, the large die, and the card with the bonus item, which is the castle. Here's some stitching, some more stitching, another stitching, and this one has the gnome, which is from the stamp set. Kind of put those two little guys together so they can be friends. And then I have some better press, and I pulled in the alphabet better press just as a fun little inside there, and pulled out the hummingbird, which is from last month's bonus item, and then the Easter from Simon Hurley's. And then I pressed this one on camera with you. Here's a J. I have to put a J for me because I'm needing some cards myself. And then I, of course, foiled some. So anyway, I have a ton of cards this month is my point here. So check out the rest of those videos on my channel. They're all live if you're watching this one. And come on back tomorrow and Saturday. I have 2 super fun videos, and it's for a design team, and they're not for Spellbinders, so it's kind of a little different. And it does help if you hit the subscribe and like button, because that will bring my videos right to your subscription page, and that helps YouTube recommend me to more crafters. So if you've liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and let me know your favorite in the comments, and subscribe for more videos. Happy March, everybody. Bye-bye.